Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Today, for your viewing pleasure, I bring to you my voodoo dolls. I get a lot of comments, both positive and negative, about these voodoo dolls. So I thought I'd actually share with you what significance they have in my life, and where they come from, and just some basic stuff about why I use them, and even how I got my name, MadBadVoodo. About 4 years ago, I went to New Orleans, and a friend of mine was getting married, and so I went down there. It was after Katrina. She had originally lived in Slidell, but her home in Slidell was totally taken out. So she was now, at that point, then she was living in a place called Homa, which is about, I guess maybe 40 minutes or half an hour outside of New Orleans. But anyway, I went down for the wedding, stayed about a week down there in Homa, and it was just, it was a really good time. But I wanted to actually go to New Orleans and see the devastation firsthand. So I did, and I spent one night in the French Quarter, and it was amazing. I went to the lower Ninth Ward, and it was just complete devastation. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. The only thing that I could think of that comes close to that is neighborhoods around Detroit. It was very similar to that, but it was amazing. So anyway, I was down in Bourbon Street, doing the thing you do down in Bourbon Street, drinking a hurricane, and checking out the different sites, and just doing what tourists do down in New Orleans. And the Bourbon Street area, that whole area there, was for the most part untouched by the hurricane. It got a little flooding, but it wasn't bad. But economically, it was really in trouble. And I had talked to a shop owner, and she told me a lot of things that I found interesting. But one of the things that she said to me is, if you really want to help us, spend your money. She said, that's what we need. And she was telling me all the different shops that had closed, just because they're, economically they were just a really bad way. So, I was spending my money. I was buying drinks, I was buying food, I was just living it up. And I went there's several voodoo shops, which is, kind of a tourist trappy type of thing. I know voodoo's gotten a lot of attention since the Haiti thing, but, in New Orleans, for the most part, I mean, it's actually kind of fascinating, the history of it. To me, it is what it is. But anyway, I was in actually the Voodoo Museum, and in the quest to help New Orleans out and spend my money, I just found these two voodoo dolls. I thought they were really neat, so I bought them as souvenirs, basically. And one of them had this attached to it. It just basically has instructions on how to use the voodoo doll. But and like anything else in life, you can use things for positive means and for negative means. I just use these as props, But anyway, this was long before, well, not long before, but before my making videos on YouTube. And then one night back home in Toledo, Ohio, I was watching YouTube videos at, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I wanted to make a new YouTube channel, and this was about 3 years ago, and I was trying to think of a name, and close to my computer were these two voodoo dolls. And I kind of, I just kind of incorporated that whole thing in. I threw a couple things around, and I came up with MadBadVoodo. And that's how that whole thing came about. Of course, I was drunk as 12 monkeys, truthfully. Truth be known, I was hammered and had just gotten home from the bar. But so I made a new YouTube account, MadBadVoodo, and these became kind of my, my mascots. And that's pretty much what they're all about. Of course, this is my little, my voodoo shrine. But for those of you who are interested in what these dolls are all about and what my name is all about and all that, that's what it is. I've always kind of wanted to do a video on New Orleans too, because I mean, there was a lot of fascinating things that happened down there, and some real insights. And of course, I have my opinions on, Mr. Chocolate City, Ray Nagin, and, but that's another video completely. One of these days I'm gonna go ahead and tell that. But anyway, that is the whole voodoo doll situation, what that's all about, and how I came up with the name MadBadVoodo. And simple as that. I know, real thrilling, huh? Anyway, no sense in dragging this out. People of the internet, take care.